to the 6th episode of the Who, What, Where, When, and Why podcast. My name is Kathleen Johnson, and I'm the Marketing and Membership Director at the YMCA and your host. The Who with me today is my colleague and friend Jason Eick, our YMCA Health and Wellness Director. Welcome back, Jason.
Thank you.
Jason, Jason's become quite a regular guest on our podcast, not just because of his expertise on how to lift heavy things, which we learned about in episode 1. So if you want to go back and check that out, you can. But because of his advanced knowledge in health and wellness, plus his amazing commitment to the YMCA, both in the mission and the direction of the Y to the community. So I appreciate you being here again with us today, and you're going to see more of Jason in upcoming episodes as well. So, Jason, today I have some stats for you to share that I'm going to share with you that from a recent survey of the American Physiological Association survey of the American pandemic, stress levels from 2020.
Okay.
So here's some physical health outcomes that were cited. Nearly half of the respondents had increased stress in 2020. Over 40% of them gained weight. Nearly 25% of them drank more alcohol. Nearly 66 had significantly altered sleep patterns. That's 2/3 of the people. And 1/3 responded reports of anxiety or depression. And 12% considered suicide in the past 30 days.
Wow.
Those are some really leveling to me stats and numbers, but not really a surprise to me.
No.
I'm sure that these were going to be the results, and I think we're going to see more and more of this coming probably in the upcoming year as well. Clearly, this pandemic stress has had a grave consequences on the American health, on health across the world.
Right.
And we know that it takes a long time to recover from pandemics. And this bulldozer style effect that this has had on our lives, on the world, the nation, and our local community. Sadness, instability, worry about, and worry of becoming routine for us, right? It's a habit that's now forming, and it's placing us in this rut. And so we're going to know that this road to a more lingering health problem is going to increase hypertension, diabetes of our loved ones. And so I just want you to think about these couple questions while I go into a couple of other things. So where do we go from here? I mean, looking at those stats, where are we going to go? How do we reload? And what's the Y's role in transforming lives over the next couple years? And where can we start? And how can we do that today? So while you're thinking about those things, I'm going to talk a little bit more to the listeners about the title of today's podcast. So I'm calling this episode Routine, Habit, Rut, Reload. I know that's kind of like, ruh-roh. Sounds a little bit like Scooby-Doo, right? Talk, but it's pretty serious stuff, right? This is it's very serious. So when I think about being in a rut, I think of a car deep in the mud, or in a groove in the road that causes them to continue in one direction or just get stuck and stop. So that's really what I think about. So this rut, there can actually be a good thing when we're in a rut. And people will be like, what could be good about that? But it causes us to really stop, right? So when we get in this rut, we stop. We have a couple options. We need to call for help, right? Call in a friend, call a tow truck, whatever it is. And then we're able, once we get pulled out of that, to change our direction. So those are two things that I think are super positive about being stuck in a rut, about getting there. And so I believe that a lot of what gets us into that rut is this path of thinking that we have, that voice in our head that is saying things that are discouraging to us, right? So we have to develop routines. We've been developing these routines that are dragging us downward. We have thoughts and habits that are negative, that are causing self-doubt and self-loathing. And we get stuck in this rut, in this pattern, and it just digs us in a little bit deeper each time. So we actually just need to stop, call for help, and change direction. Kind of like stop, drop, and roll.
Sure.
Right? So, Jason, I'm going to go back to those questions then. So how can the why help? Where can we go from here? How do we reload? What's the why's role in transforming lives? I know this is a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
And how can we get started today?
Well, it is a problem. I mean, when I look at these stats, like we said, it's not surprising, but it's a little bit sad, obviously, to kind of see this stuff printed out in black and white. But the overwhelming thing that I see, it's a kind of like a reaction because we've been kind of forced to get away from the stuff that's made us happy, that's fulfilled our lives, that have enriched our lives, be that social aspect with family and friends, be it spiritual, churches closed down, that kind of stuff, having to change the way we worship, not being able to get in and attend exercise classes when everything was shut down, not being able to do our workouts and our physical activities the way we were accustomed to doing it before. Because we've talked on numerous podcasts before about, okay, this is a great thing. Bring your friend into these programs, bring your friend into these classes, or work out with a buddy, and you get that accountability. Sometimes, like depending on where we have been in the country, sometimes that hasn't been an option for some of us. And even in Ohio, where it hasn't been as bad as in some places, we still have a lot of regulation and restrictions in place. So what I would say, how do we reload? How do we go from here? Let's use this time to reignite passion in our lives, reintroduce ourselves to something that gives us joy and makes us just realize how lucky we are to have what we still have in front of us. So that could be a lot of things for a lot of different people. It could be the why is that we're not just fitness. Obviously, we talk about how much we're not just a gym, but we have so much more there. Even though we can't be quite as close together, we still have a lot of social aspect there. People are coming back to the why, and people are rejoining classes and programming and coming into my wellness center. I see a lot of people just in the last couple of weeks that I haven't seen in a year. And those relationships are restarting with other members. And it's so awesome to see that. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, there's some semblance of normalcy. But for some people, maybe fitness isn't the first knee-jerk reaction that you need to get back and kind of reignite that passion in your life. But maybe it's something else that you can revisit and get reacquainted with, can help you get back to the fitness. So maybe it's something as simple as learning how to enjoy music again, whether it be playing an instrument, whether it be sitting down and listening to your favorite album, whether maybe it's painting, maybe it's creative writing, maybe it's anything like that. If we can revisit those things to maybe kind of be like, oh, right, awesome. This makes me happy. Well, wow, it's going to completely change my mood. Then maybe that is just a spark in the catalyst that enables us to go, okay, I'm feeling better about how things are going now. I'm feeling a little bit less in that rut. Mm-hmm. And now maybe I'm ready to go back to the why. And now maybe I'm ready to go and do something else. So if you get started in a negative pattern, what does it happen? You just keep going in that rut, right? Like we've said,
right?
Where you're in that dirt, you're in that mud. And the farther we keep going forward, what's happening? We're just going deeper and deeper.
Right.
But if we change direction, I love how you said that. If we change direction and we go to a different path, that path might have a beginning, but that change in direction is going to lead us to a completely different path. And that's going to be a path that we keep on going up, mm-hmm. theoretically. So I would encourage everybody watching to find out what makes you happy. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a health and wellness thing, but we would love for you to come back to that. Like I said, it might not start there, but hopefully we're in that road. Mm-hmm. We're in that. Does it make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Because, when we look at that 40% gained weight,
absolutely.
Obviously we've got to get ourselves back into eating healthier and getting ourselves moving. But exercise can completely help all those altered sleep patterns as well. And a lot of other things on here. It's a good answer to these negative effects from the last year.
All right. Because what are people doing? Well, if they're not doing all these things that make them happy, if they're not spending time with family, they're not doing the things that fulfill their lives, they're sitting at home, they're watching TV, and they're on their phone or a computer on social media, which is ridiculously unhealthy. So that's going to contribute to that 66% altered sleep pattern, because when you should be resting and recovering, you're looking at a screen.
Right.
So finding something that makes you happy that's not screen based, I think I would recommend. And the same like you said with the poor health choices with the foods. Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy to grab that comfort food. It's a bag of chips, or or indulge in too much alcohol. Obviously, I mean, how many posts do you see that on? So I bought like 6 boxes of wine. Because what else am I going to do? So yeah, I mean, you'd want to change if you make 1 or 2 changes, that's going to fix pretty much everything here. I think
that that very last statistic for me, that 12% considered suicide in the last 30 days, that's just such a scary, scary thing. And I know that, getting into some really healthy patterns, getting yourself with positive people, becoming part of their life as well, helps us to just realize that we're not alone. And so when I say we're going to stop and we're going to call for help, I really encourage people to do that and to reach out and to find those people in your life that you can call for help at any time that you need it to change that direction in your life. So I always, for a long time, I'm not a big mirror person. I'm not a very vain person. I don't have a lot of mirrors in my house. But for a while, I know last year I was kind of feeling that, where I'm tired. I feel like I look old. I will do, I'll do that tomorrow.
Sure.
All these kind of just negative type things in the mirror, looking directly at myself. Right. And so, to be transparent about that, I've never really thought I've had any type of issue with depression, but I could feel it. I'd feel it pulling me down into that road. Right. I am getting older, but I'm not old.
No.
Right. And, and so I really started saying to myself, I got up today. It's going to be a great day. I got this. I'm worth it. I'm moving forward.
Sure.
And little by little, adding those positive self-talks, stop saying the things that, that I'm old, and start saying, I'm in a great time in my life, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a grandma now. I've got great things going on in my life. And starting to remind myself of these great things really started to make that little change that I needed every day to kind of pull me out of where I thought I was heading or spiraling down into. And I even started to write these things down. I ended up with a prayer journal that I started praying for others, right? I would just write down their name and I would pray for them, and I would write down on something else. And that really helped.
That's a great idea.
Because I was focused not so much on, oh, woe is me, but how can I pray for others, and how can I move forward in a new positive route for myself? So, these new positive routines, these habits, I highly recommend them. They're a positive way to just life build instead of rut make, right?
Yeah.
Start building your life up instead of start making these ruts that are bringing you down in your journey.
Absolutely.
It's big in your spirit, it's in your mind, and then it will start to fulfill these places in the body and start to make you feel better. And then you'll be more active and you'll be making better choices as well.
Absolutely. And I would say the routines and the habits use the same techniques that I talk about in my personal training with small obtainable goals. So you're not going to wake up from feeling down and blue and depressed for a year and just be like, okay, today I'm going to completely change every aspect of my life. And by 6:00 tonight, I'm going to be completely different. Okay. Yes. Well, that's pretty daunting. So let's do positive changes. And I loved what you said about taking a little task, changing it every day, or adding a little bit of change, adding a little bit of a positive direction. If you do those things, and that kind of spurs you forward. Okay. Wow. I did this. I did that. It worked out really great. What else can I do?
Right.
And making it about other people can't get better than that, because then those relationships, you're going to be really sad. You could have everything. You could be a multi-billionaire, but if there's no one around you, it's going to be really a non-fulfilling life. So making it about other people, we can do that now. The more people get vaccinated and the more things, we have to absolutely get to the point where we're involved in those relationships with family and friends again. I just don't see how we go forward if that's something that doesn't come back. So, yeah, I liked what you said.
I think, too, that the word habit took on a very negative kind of, when we think of we usually say it's a bad habit. Mm-hmm. Right? You never hear people say, that's a good habit.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem to be the thing that rolls off tongue. But it certainly could. Like you definitely, those routines, those good habits, and how about Tuscarawas County, let's start to make that a thing.
Yeah.
These good habits, and start to really promote good habits out there that are making us more positive and just making us, it's benefiting our community. We're benefiting others. That's going to be a huge, huge change for us.
Yep, we could help with that too.
Yeah. So in closing, Jason, I just want to talk about a couple of things. And we're going back to our title, right?
Sure.
The who, what, where, when, why. Who can come?
Everybody. We're always welcome here. The YMCA is for everybody. We're very inclusive. We have all walks of life here. We have financial assistance, so you do not. We'll make it available for you, no matter what you can pay, no matter what financial stability, financial situation you find yourself in. Again, we have it right down here. Financial assistance is available. All of our classes and most of the programming is free if you're a member. There are some stuff like Commit to Be Fit and that kind of thing that is an additional charge, but we feel that those programs are significantly worth it. And let us prove that to you. Come on in and let us and talk to me, talk to my staff, talk to Kathleen.
Yeah, so that's the who and the what. Where would you send them? This is a big test from your marketing director. Where would you send them, Jason, for that information?
Member Service Center. Yeah, because our program guide's there. It's available. It has all the information that you're going to know. It's a very well put together piece of literature. It has our fitness schedule on there. It has the pool schedule on there. It talks about different programming. Like right now, we're in that Rally for the Y, which is raising money for our YMCA using the Espresso bike that's located in the Wellness Center. Talks about our after-school programming. It talks about our preschool programming, which they did something really great on Wednesday night that I went in and tried to be a part of. They did like an art show for their kids.
All that
you
on
see
our Facebook page. It was
fantastic.
Cool.
I actually went in there and checked it out because I wanted to see friends Shauna Angel, who's done them, her son Kenton, and another friend of mine, Natalie, her son, or her kids I believe she has 2 children in the program, and everybody did a great job. It is something that Jade and the rest of her staff should be tremendously proud of. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would point them in the direction of the Member Service Center, and everyone that works there will be able to find out what your needs are, what your interests are, and they're going to point you in the right direction, whether it's back towards me in the Wellness Center and my staff, whether it's in the pool with Stacy and her aquatic staff, whether it's where Bob is with youth sports, me with adult sports. We're trying to get some more programs with that going. Tons of places. I mean, we really do offer something for everybody, a lot for everybody.
Yeah. So certainly call the YMCA at 330-364-5511 or visit our website, TUSC for Tusk, YMCA.org, and you'll find out a lot of information, probably more than you can consume in one day. But certainly give us a call or stop by the Member Service Center desk and let us start you in the right direction. So when can they get started?
Now, right now. Stop watching the screen and just go to the Y. No, no, literally, like Kathleen said, you can call us right now. We have information on our Facebook page. We have information on our website. The virtual Y is there. That's something. So you can get in there. If you're a Y member, you use your barcode and you have access to tons of videos, from live videos from our classes, personal training videos by Shauna and myself. I think Angie has a couple videos on there.
Yeah.
We're proud of that. We're really trying to push the envelope with that. If you put it off, it's just going to keep piling back. So just do it now. We make it ridiculously easy for you to get started. We're going to make it affordable for you. We're going to provide you with programming that gets you out in there, making friends again, rekindling relationships with old friends. There's no reason not to. We'd love to see you. So
the YMCA has started a nice new branding for a better us. And so that really is the why. It is for a better us. It's not just for a better YMCA,
right,
but it's for a better community, a better nation, a better world. And so that's the why. Definitely, it's for a better us. So a couple special announcements as we close out today. Healthy Kids Day is April 29th. Registration's going on now for you and your family. It's a great swag included in that. So
it's April 24th?
April 24th. What did I say?
29th.
29th.
April 24th.
April 24th. Let me correct that. Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Registration's going on now. There is swag. So what's cool is we've gotten a lot of donations from the people in the community. We're super excited about this event. It's going to be definitely different than it has been in the past. There are 3 sessions this time. You can register for one or all 3, however you want to do that. But each kid is going to get a great gift in those bags. In our Sports Spectacular programming, they're getting a Y basketball. In our yoga session and craft session, they're getting a yoga mat.
Awesome.
So there's lots
those.
of different stuff going on, a big bag of stuff going out to the
Shauna
kids.
and Laura doing
Kids on the Move is going to be there. It's going to be super fun. So if you're looking for something for Saturday, April 24th, give us a call or get online and register for that so we can get your family in there. It's a free event.
Yep.
We also want to call out to our listeners to send in questions for our May podcast called Q&A with J and K.
That's the first time I saw that. That's awesome.
Q&A with J and K. All right, man. So that's us right here.
Yep. Yes,
so,
I figured it was.
Did you figure that out?
Yep.
You're the J. So email Jason at tuscymca.org or myself, Kathleen, at the same. And we will get your questions ready for the Q&A with J and K. So that's it for today. Jason, again, thanks for being with me.
Thank you.
You're my partner in crime on this whole podcast, and I really appreciate that.
I really enjoy these.
We want you to make it a great day. So from all of us at the Y, stay healthy, stay safe, and see you at the Y.